So I've just arrived in Tokyo. It's 3 a.m. Not a good time to be landing. And there's no bloody there's no bloody seats for me to sleep on. I haven't got a hotel booked. I was planning to sleep in the airport. So now I don't know what the bloody plan is. I tell you what I did not expect to be doing, and that is to be going chair hunting in the airport. What's a man gotta do to sleep around here? Damn it! He got there 2 seconds before me. Welcome to my humble abode. First Japan test. Let's see if the train's on time. It's early.
まもなく流通センターです。出口は左側です。
The red light shall not be crossed. I have arrived. Yes. All right. Good night. See you in the morning. We've managed to get about 2 hours sleep between the plane and the airport there. This is Ben, my friend from the UK who I'll be traveling with here. Haven't seen each other for 2 years. Could you imagine that? Tokyo was my very first video on this channel. So I think it's always gonna have a special place in my heart because of that reason. This time I'm hoping to dive a little bit deeper. Maybe peel back a few more layers of the onion of the Japanese culture. The elusive, mysterious Japanese culture. We're coming for you.
We're in Takeshita Street.
Where?
Takeshita Street.
Okay, serious face on now. This is what you call Schmuckville. But, I mean, it's a part of the culture, let's be honest. We are one and for all tourists. There's a McDonald's right in the centre. That's when you know. That's when you know where you are. They've even got micro big cafes. It's all happening in Takeshita Street. Oh man. I really did not expect it to be this toasty. Wow. Last time I was here, none of these had any leaves.
Now
And it still looked unreal.
Yeah.
There has been one thing that stayed in my memory from the last time I came to Tokyo, and that is absolute razor snack. Cannot be gotten anywhere else. Let's see. They do have them. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get one of those. And we're gonna have a try of the spicy chicken bite. It's kind of refreshing to be back in Japan's convenience stores. I think they're the best. I think we can all agree that they're the best. Do you reckon Japanese convenience stores are the best?
Yeah, look at this guy right here.
I'm always a little bit intimidated when I come to the old fridge here because I can't read the bloody drinks. So I think I'm just gonna have to take a shot in the dark. I couldn't resist, mate. The Fanta bottle was just too cool. Oh yeah. These chicken bites are gonna get the old taste test here. Ready? That real piping hot chicken.
Chicken.
Oh no! Oh, how I've missed you. Until next time on Ben and Ollie's Japan convenience store food reviews. I keep seeing these phone boxes everywhere that advertise saying free Wi-Fi. So I think I'm going to test it out. This is going to really impress me if this works. There it is. Okay, so let's try it out. Google Flights. It's not looking promising. I give up. It's false advertising. You don't get much of that in Japan, but damn, that would have really impressed me if that was working. Hold on, I can hear a phone call. Hello? Slow down, I can't. Klook is the best experiences booking website. Tell me a date and time and I'll be there. Thank you. Bye. Right now we're in a part of the city called Ryogoku. We're here because we're going to be experiencing one of the most unique things I've ever done. I used the website called Klook. That's what I've been using to find most of my unique and interesting experiences around the city.
Sumo's grand history, only 75 have ever earned the name Yokozuna.
Download the Klook app. It's very simple and intuitive to use. Just type in the location and you'll see everything that's available in that area. It supports over a dozen languages and a bunch more currencies, so you're good. They're always running promotions as well, so you can get your hands on some pretty sweet discounts here and there. We're about to see something fun.
Oh my god!
I've managed to get my viewers an exclusive discount. So by clicking the link down in the description or the QR code on screen, you can get access to that. Book your next activity using Klook. Enjoy the rest of the show. Whoa! Right in the middle of Shibuya crossing. Let's just be real. This is the Japan that everyone fell in love with the first time they came, right? 100%. I'm excited in this trip to get into a couple of places that we haven't seen yet. Hiroshima is coming up, and an incredible cycle route that we're going to be doing across a bunch of islands. So all coming here on the Ollie Barrett Travel Channel. Click subscribe. Are you Picasso? Can I get an autograph? We're getting on a tram in Tokyo. Here is today's plan of action, loose one at that. We're gonna take this tram over to East Tokyo, Ueno, and then we're gonna take a walk over to the electric town of Akihabara. Of course, we're gonna be smashing some fantastic food today. Always looking forward to that part of the day. And yeah, we'll see what happens, see where the day takes us. yesterday it was my first day arriving, so I was running on like 2 hours sleep, right? So I was exhausted, I didn't want to film. But we went for Conveyor Belt Sushi and I was just blown away. This place was phenomenal. I was so excited. I wish I'd have recorded my reaction, but it just means that we're gonna have to go there again. I think I'm just gonna have to make an annual trip to Japan just for the Conveyor Belt Sushis, because they take the... This bridge shakes every time those trains come past. I'm sure they're fine. Me and Smart just sat here watching from above the madness and the efficiency that is Tokyo. And I just had this thought. I zoomed out of my own life, my own problems, and just thought, how many people individually are worrying about everything in their own life right now? They're all worried about what they're gonna make for dinner, if they're gonna be home from work on time. They're definitely not worried about my problems, that's for sure. What I really mean there is, relax a bit. I need to take my own advice sometimes.
I think in these moments where we're surrounded by other people, about our own shit, we can also have a bit of empathy and try to do the best we can for the people we see on a daily basis, because we don't know what they're going through. The smallest kind of positive act really have
So
a positive
true, man.
impact.
So true.
Pretty deep shit.
So when you come to Tokyo, there's probably one thing, at least for me, above all else, that you want to come and do, and that is to eat nice bloody food. But you want to stay away from those like places that have got English and all this bollocks, right? You want to come to the mom and pop restaurants who are going to sell you whatever they're giving you. You don't ask too many questions, really. You just say whatever you're selling, and trust me, it's going to be banging. Yeah, perfect. What will we get? Yeah,
Tempura soba 1つかけそば、ホットはいかけそばお願いします。
Did you get this on tempura? Huh?
I don't know if it's just a persona, but
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing, man. You just don't know. Sometimes, this is worth mentioning, sometimes it can feel a little unwelcoming, which can be a bit intimidating in these very local restaurants. Whether or not this is this woman, we have no idea. But at least sometimes it can make you feel that way. If the food slaps and it's 400 yen, or whatever it is, I'm gonna have no qualms with it. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. This is Tokyo, man. The sort of anime, cyberpunk gaming side to it. This is exactly what I pictured it to be like, you know. It's like that childhood dream that I can't even really put words to it. It just feels a little bit like you're in a video game. And I'm about to be in a video game because we're going to head to an arcade where we're going to play some. Can you imagine coming here like 20, 30 years ago? You may be seeing a TV show or some pictures in a book about what Japan was like. Nowadays, obviously, we have Instagram and TikTok bloody reels. You can see like every aspect of any country you want to go and see. And it's kind of easy to travel around. And I do love that. I'm grateful for that because it's allowed me to see a lot of the world at a young age. But to travel like 20, 30 years ago, not only did you need money, but you needed a hell of a lot more courage and bravery. Because there wasn't going to be many people speaking English. There wasn't going to be any menus in English. You know, you have no translation apps. That's like serious hard mode travel. I'd love to slot myself into that time frame and experience that sometime. Yeah. So we're in Tech Universe here in Japan. 7 floors of tech stuff. If we can't find what I need for this camera to be able to put it around my neck in here, we've got no chance.
Also tax-free.
Bosh, 10% off. Now, if you are a consumerist at heart, I think this is going to be heaven for you. What's this? What's this?
Bondage meets beauty.
Look at that. Batman in action. Don't worry, if you need to weigh yourself, you've got an option of 29 different sets of scales that you can do that with. Imagine trying to choose from all of these toothbrushes. It is hard, it is really hard. I need to brush my teeth. Clearly, there are lots of different ways to do it. It's like a utopia and dystopia at the same time. Although, I must admit, I am kind of liking it. What have you found over here, mate?
If you get the app, this app, whatever barcode you scan, it comes up with translation in whatever language you need. How mad is that? English. And then it gives me the full...
That's sick. So frustrating, right? I have about 4 of these at home. I just left an apartment and I threw 2 of them in the bin. And now I'm in the shop buying one for 2,000 yen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We did all of that just so I can give you this kind of shot. Anyway, I've got what I needed. I've lost my friend. Time to get to an arcade. Here I'm going to leave my 27-year-old outside, and I'm now spawned as a 12-year-old. Once again, 7 floors. I guess up on the 7th floor we're going to see the hardcore gamers, you know, the ones who are coming here on their work break. If I grew up here, I would be one of these lads, there's no doubt about that. Yes! Listen to the noise! Holy moly! Oh, let's play this. What the hell is going on? Touche. Wow, man, what the hell? Hey, you're dressed for it. He's dressed for the rain. Crazy Taxi. I used to have this game on PlayStation 1. Now I feel old. It's neck and neck, it's neck and neck. And he's the winner! Come on! Nice, nice. Oh, that was tense there at the end. Wow. Smart is showing me to something that I've never eaten before. Supposedly something sweet, a sweet treat. So this is what you're talking about, huh?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
It's kind of like a pancake in a sense.
Cheers, mate. This is pretty hedge. So it's essentially like a pancake, 2 pancakes with some filling. This one is a lovely creamy custard. Would I get it again? I would buy this again. to hear some sound on that one. So I've got my number. Here it is. Wow, I've got my own little spot now. What the hell? Different types of soy sauce. Ginger in here.
Your order will arrive shortly.
Oh, would you take a look at it? I didn't realise as a society we could get to this kind of efficiency. This is $1. God damn it, Japan, you've done it again. You know what I love about Japan is they've got it for all price ranges. You would think sushi is kind of a premium food, which it is in most of the world. But here they've managed to get it down to the average salaryman, the average Joe can eat sushi, and that's because they've taken the service out of it. They've automated it so much that they just don't need to employ many people. People sit down, they get their sushi within 20-30 minutes, Bob's your uncle, and they're off. Whilst it's unfortunate that I don't get to interact with people in this meal wouldn't really be available within my budget if it wasn't like this. So, no complaints from me. Oh, that is so sick. I can't believe it, man. They've literally thought of everything. So I stuffed my face and that cost $15. I basically did this entire experience without talking to a single person. Like, that's what you call automation. Wow. I think this is the most humanized side of Japan I've seen. Bro, you're so right. I haven't seen a single piece of rubbish anywhere. Oh, I found one. It must have been an accident. We're giving the benefit of the doubt. May I ask, how many years have you had this place?
この場所を何年所有されているのですか?
50. Zero. 50 years, man. I'm like stepping back in time. Yeah. I love that these kind of places still exist, you know, it's not all been gentrified. And it's nice that he can actually still afford to be here. Like, clearly hasn't got a great deal of customers. Oishi. It's just 900 yen, this set, which is pretty good, really.
はい、どうもありがとうございます。はい。
Arigatou gozaimasu. Bye. Well, what a lovely little spot that was for a coffee. 50 years they've been running that place. Timeless. Here we have a Peep Show, and I'm so curious to see what this is about, although I'm a little bit ashamed even to go in. What's it? Ah, okay. No problem. You heard it here first. Only Japanese. I wasn't actually going to be a customer, I just wanted to... I promise I wasn't. Here in just a moment we're going to be meeting up with a local lad. He actually studied in the UK, so he speaks very good English. So I'm looking forward to asking him some questions about living in Tokyo and how that differs to the average tourist experience.
In a way, I'm Gan, I'm 24 years old. I'm 100% native. I was living in the UK and Denmark for a couple of years, and I'm now settled in Tokyo doing a master's degree. That's it.
First of all, what do you feel is a good side about living in Tokyo, like as a Japanese person?
Oh, it's just everything is so comfortable in a way. It's because literally convenience just 50 meters away, or loads of metro system, overground system. It's just so comfortable. That's the only thing I can describe, maybe.
I feel like you're constantly met with under-promising and over-delivering. You know, like if you go to a hotel in most places, right? You'll see like the most glamorous pictures on the website, and then when you get there, it's moldy and it's like, you know, a bit old.
Yeah.
I don't get that very often in Japan, and I think this is part of the reason why tourists have such a good experience here.
I think we have the high expectation of like being everything in high standards, and we just setting sort of the standards very high, and yeah, even in a small business or little hotel even.
Do you think people take pride in their work?
I think it's 50-50 actually. I think the level of commitment, I think it's very high in general. But I think some people, like my friends, sometimes talk them like, I just want money. I just want the things to be done. Another thing, what if we haven't done that? What if we haven't created what we needed to do? Then what the outcome would it be?
Yesterday I was on the train, the last one, so it was like midnight, and I saw like a bunch of guys that were passed out, quite clearly drunk. And I hear that this is quite a normal thing in Japan.
I think that thing is happening a lot, not like only once a week. I've heard some of my friends is doing like 3 or 4 times a week days. Is because simply boss asks someone to go out for drink, whatever. So
are people allowed to say no?
I mean, they somehow like somehow in a way hesitant to say no. I think to say no in Japan is, I think, very, very difficult. We always sort of like have the tendency of avoiding to say no. Maybe the boss having the right to do the assessment sort of thing. Maybe the people in general don't want it to give like bad impression overall for refusing.
I'm also curious to touch on what we spoke about earlier. Context being like, people see Japan as a very harmonious place. You know, so many people stacked on top of each other, yet everybody is so polite. People are never in your way. People are never annoying you by being too loud. And you mentioned something about like that being taught in schools.
Yeah, like I remember when I was in elementary school, once in a week we had sort of the class called moral. We have been taught like, how do we behave, or how do we respect others, or how do we deal in a certain situation. Like I gave you the examples like the umbrella when it's raining and in small path and 2 people are like just facing each other. We're trying to like a little bit like lean in the umbrella towards the other way.
When I made some videos here last time, there was one point where I was like talking on the train to the camera.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of comments like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be talking on the train. Like, you know, other people are just so annoyed. I had no idea it was that big of a deal. But no one said anything to me. So it's very hard to find out, you know, if you're doing something that's not really acceptable.
I think sort of like unspoken rule.
If nobody tells you, how are you supposed to know? That's what I'm confused about.
I think there's no way, actually. And maybe even people annoyed, they simply don't...
They won't say it.
Yeah, they won't say anything.
If I may, I'm conscious of your time. I see that there's the rose-tinted glasses view of the country through the eyes of Westerners, and Japan is held in a very revered position. Everyone has these high expectations and thinks it's like the best place in the world. There must be something that gives on the other side of that that is not so obvious to tourists.
After spending time in Europe and got some friends and then came back to Japan and really noticed one thing is like we haven't got much connections. That's I think the first thing to say is, I mean, like even in the UK going to the pub and like just randomly speaking to the strangers and we will have fun and in a good time. But here in Japan I think it's very not lost in a way, but I think it's very little. I think I'm a bit more like open person, so like if something happened, I'm always the one to try to say something to someone else, but I cannot see what other people really thinking. I mean, looking at this suicide rate here in Japan or South Korea, loads of like suicidal things happening. Those sort of like struggles, I think it's very difficult to share. Some people are thinking that opening up those things is going to bother them, and we're very busy, you know, and like working till the very midnight. Those things make it even harder.
Mate, that's a big part of it because you need the luxury of time.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the luxury of time, like all of what we've just spoke about is kind of nonsense. Like I don't have time for that. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you meeting me.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
And it's been nice to get to know you a bit.
Yeah, really appreciate you, man.
My insight on this experience is that no wonder this is so popular, to eat in these mini cubicles. It's always so easy to lock yourself away, right? I'm quite introverted. This feels quite comfortable to me. Not having to engage with anyone else, even look at anyone else. But, I don't know, something about it just doesn't feel right. It's almost like the COVID restrictions never went back. Anyway, food was good. Let's move on. As you probably already know, Tokyo is a huge bustling city, and it offers a lot more opportunity than a lot of more rural parts of Japan. So people are moving here, young people are moving here at a very accelerated rate, which has obviously caused rental prices to skyrocket. So I hear, anyway, this is what I've been told. So because of that, somewhat a subculture has started to appear of people sleeping in unusual places. So I'm on the way to investigate. Can I get a private room for 30 minutes?
30 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, my Japanese is not very good.
Okay.
Arigatou gozaimasu. We have a room for 30 minutes for the price of $2. Sounds pretty good if you ask me. $4,008. There we go. Let's pop the lights on. Holy moly. We've got to take our shoes off before we get in. It's supposed to be a gaming cafe, right? But you saw they had prices for 24 hours. Couple that with the fact that this is a bed I think you know where this is heading. Oh, it's longer than I thought, man. So I can stretch my legs fully out. This is... It's actually not that bad, I see the appeal. I don't know if that gives you an idea of how small this place is, but it ain't the biggest. And it hasn't got any windows. Bro, at the same time, like, for 3,300 yen, you can get yourself a private room, essentially, which is like $20. And there ain't any other private room in Tokyo you're getting for $20. But anyway, this is one of those things that, like, this is appearing more and more, I would imagine. I believe it's somewhat of a loophole because I don't think you're... I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe you're able to legally assign this as your home address. This is kind of like, yeah, it's a gaming cafe, but people kind of sleep here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's quite nice, I must say. So it's actually better than I expected. We've got an AC. We've got a... whatever this is. Oh, that's the computer, obviously. And it's got hangers. It's got all these sort of facilities. It's telling me there's a hairdryer in the toilet, I think. We've even got a mirror. They've even got a phone. So just like that, brother, we've got ourselves a setup. There's this YouTuber that I've been watching recently who's absolutely world class. I've heard this video is very good. You should check it out. We are absolutely chilling, ladies and gentlemen. I came here trying to uncover like the dark side of Tokyo that people are using this kind of place to live, right? You know, after coming here, biddy bat bop, you got your own little private room, right? I'm paying double this price to stay in a hostel. This is basically a hostel, plus a computer and a private space. Like, what? Now I feel ripped off. Let's go check out the facilities, shall we? So you basically got all your facilities through here. We've got microwave, hot water. Washing area, washing machines, whole shower rooms, bath and sauna. Bro, they've got an onsen in here. Okay, I'm not going to show you down there because it's a private space. People are naked and all that. Bro, on this floor they've got a restaurant. It's a nice space. Free coffee. If they didn't have me sold already. That I ought to do it. I know I'm kind of glorifying this place, but I am thinking about it through the lens of me traveling here, right, for a short period of time. Through that lens, this is the best place ever. When you start mixing in the idea of like, this is the place that you live, yeah, it doesn't seem so enticing. This is Tokyo Station in rush hour. Everything here is built for ultra efficiency. Here in Tokyo Station with billions passing through every day. It doesn't even feel like chaos. It feels like choreography. Dusk is upon us here in central Tokyo, and that makes the perfect time to head down to the area of Ginza. Ginza is arguably the bougiest area in all of Tokyo, lined with designer outlets. At night time, the city breathes again. I feel like during daytime it's a little bit tense, it's business time. And then, whew, a big exhale in the evening. People can come out of their shells a little bit, you know? So let's see what Ginza's got to offer, shall we? Vamos. Welcome to Ginza, the area that used to be, back in the 1600s, Tokyo's silver mint. The place where they made the gold coins as the currency for the country. Fast forward 400 years, and there's certainly no shortage of cash around here. None of which I have, so it's one of the most prestigious shopping malls in all of Tokyo. I've never felt so out of place in my life. It just feels premium, doesn't it? So I'm in a lovely bookstore here, and I've just picked up a book that I've read, and I've just realised it's back to front, and everything is top down. That is mental. Here we are on Ginza 6 Garden, the rooftop. I figured Ginza 6 Garden was going to be a name for some kind of bar, or bar with a garden. Maybe there is, but at least here has public access. Well, you can kind of see it, but not so much. Nevertheless, it's kind of a nice area to come and enjoy some convenience store food. Pretend you are rich for a couple of hours. Kita-Senju. This is an area of Greater Tokyo I have not explored before. It's out on the Joban line, quite far out of the sort of downtown areas of the city. From what I hear, it's a place that mixes old and new Tokyo together. So locals have probably been here far before the skyscrapers arrived. So it should be fun to see a different side to the Tokyo. Let's have a look around. How sick are these little bikes? They are so cool. What I find quite amazing about this city is, like, you can be all the way out in the arse end of the city, and if you got dropped here and you didn't know where you were, you'd probably call this downtown. Look at this place. That's so retro. So cool. Now this is the type of area of the city that's a bit more typical of where your average salaryman is gonna be based. They probably face an hour-long commute each way every day to and from work, because to live close to the center of the city is getting quite expensive now. I feel like it's night and day, the difference here compared to downtown areas of the city. The streets are a little more charming, the locals are a little more vibing. Here we are in the real Tokyo. Look at this place, man. What a street. Listen to that. Almost utter silence. For a city with so many people, I wouldn't expect a single corner of it to be this quiet. You can hear the birds chirping, and that's it. It's giving me the chills, man. I've seen a bunch of these posters everywhere. I'm wondering if it's like a political thing. Let's have a look. Member of the House of Representatives, Liberal Democratic Party. Wow. That's funny. This is what I love about Tokyo. Look at the minimalist architecture here. Big fan. All you have to do is take one little side street and you appear in the most quaint little streets. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. Just very, very minimalist, very thoughtful. And I find you really have to look for it because it's not trying to jump out at you. I also think this is wonderful. Bikes just left here with no locks. No concerns that they're going to be stolen. Forget the bikes. We've got Amazon parcels sat on the doorstep. How many minutes do you think it would take for that to be gone in a lot of places? Honestly, I'm getting in my feels a little bit here. I just, what does it take to get to a place where you can live in such a high trust society? Covering all bases, safety, trust that people are not trying to scam you, trust that you can leave your bicycles unlocked and Amazon parcels on the doorstep. You can leave your bags in a restaurant or a cafe, go to the toilet for 10-15 minutes, and they will be there when you come back. Okay, let me provide some context. There are some cultures in the world, take for example North Korea, where if they do something that's against the rules, they're probably in fear of the consequences. So they're being ruled by tyrants, right? Japan is a place with very strict rules, but I absolutely do not think they are living in fear of the consequences. I'm a big believer that anything you need to do, any change you want to make in your life, all you need is to find that why. For example, why would I eat the salad instead of the burger? I'm sacrificing my taste buds today for a better tomorrow. The salad is healthier, right? That's an easy one. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my take. I think they all know that there's millions and millions of people stacked on top of each other in a small space, and everything's about keeping the engine greased, keeping it flowing. Everyone kind of embodies this idea that if I do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm doing my part. And I just hope that everyone else feels the same way. And that just creates for a much more harmonious place, right? Because as soon as you have some bad actors, that spreads. But if everyone else is kind of has these high expectations of you, then it keeps you in check. And I think for somewhere like Tokyo, it has just done absolute wonders. And I think we can all learn a little something from the Japanese. Yes, it makes for a bit of a tense atmosphere at times, but damn, do they do a good job keeping this place clean, tidy, orderly, and just a nice environment for people to exist in. Good job, Japan. After spending a week here, I think my closing takeaway is that perhaps Tokyo isn't perfect. Perhaps there are layers to the onion that are not so obvious to us tourists. I think it's a place that's quietly obsessed with doing its very best. And to be honest, that's what's gonna keep me coming back time and time again. Because I think the overall experience you get here as a tourist, it's hard to beat, to be honest. So if you have the opportunity, I urge you to make your way here and experience it yourself. And when you do so, make sure to click the link down in the description to book your activities using Klook. Thank you to Klook for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you very much for being here and watching. Until next time.